Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toffee Bluecast. Feels like it's been a while, but we are back pre-match. Wolves versus Everton. I'll get him involved straight away. I've got the main man, Paul. Get him here.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good. How are you doing, Paul?
I'm not too bad. I'm going to throw this up straight away. Jamie picked the winner, 2042. He was on the nose.
Too well, doesn't he?
He does. He knows you too well.
He does know me too well. He knows how I work. Treat them mean, keep them keen, keep you waiting. Sorry I'm late, but just I had to get the table for the channel. There is a lot of things I get together and some things are last minute. I had to get the table, which I'll show you at the end of the channel. So let's get started. Wolves v Everton. Wolves are at home, obviously. Pre-match. 2 games left. I stutter. I'm scared. I was looking forward to speaking to you today, Paul, because I am a little bit nervous because it's just 2 games and anything can happen in football. You could get a player sent off. Anything can happen that could bug you up. It's just our destiny is in 2 games, and I didn't want this to happen and us to be in this situation, but it looks like it is. So, what you got to say to me on that?
But it could be worse. We are currently not in the bottom 3. We are, points rather than just goal difference ahead of Leeds and Leicester, and still opportunity to catch Forest as well. So I'd say we're much better than a lot of people thought we would be 4 weeks, 6 weeks ago, without a doubt.
Well, there is that, isn't there? I mean, you've got to sometimes not over panic yourself. If you looked at, we could be below. We had a good result against Brighton. We could be below Leeds before this fixture and below other teams where a win might not even do anything. So we're not in a bad situation if you do look at the big picture. It's just still scary because, like Crystal Palace, these 2 games mean something, don't they?
They do, but it's in our hands.
Yeah.
It's up to us, isn't it? It's up to us. So it's lots of positives and a tricky fixture. There's just because Wolves are safe and everything else doesn't mean that they're not doing well at home, because they are, and they've beaten a few teams in the last few weeks as well, which were good wins. So we've got to be on our game to make sure we get something from the game. I'm
going to hit you with this. I know I had a little moan about it on the last stream, but now I'm even a bit more worried. Does it worry you that West Ham, I mean, David Moyes has just come out now and said that they rested for this fixture and that they'll probably rest again, and that basically they're not that bothered about this Leeds game that's massive. Does it not worry you a little bit that West Ham might just give Leeds that game easy, which is not what we want?
You can't, you can't tell, can you? Because there's one way that it could be is that they'll be on a high after making the final. They'll all want their places in the final, so they'll put a decent shift in against Leeds. It could be the other way. It could be the other way around. I don't know whether you saw the pictures of the dressing room with all the beer and the whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was worrying me. I think every Evertonian is panicking seeing that, thinking they're going to get absolutely trashed. They're only bothered about that competition now. The Premier League doesn't matter. And you just feel like they're going to make it an easy ride for Leeds. But I really hope they don't, because it just don't seem fair. But that's it.
There's no way of knowing. There's no way of knowing until they actually play the games. I mean, they were practically safe before beating Man United, to be honest. You sort of forget that they beat United 1-0 at home. So they've not done too badly in some games at home, and they're very capable of beating Leeds without a problem, I would have thought.
We're going to have our eyes on that game. We are going to have I didn't want to mention it, but it's something we're all thinking about, and that's what we do on the channel. We try and hit what you're feeling. In the comments, the Blues is here, John Foster, Paula, Jamie, get involved in the comments. You know how we do this. I'll give you a little thing now. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the last 7 games of Wolves. It's scary, but we have to do it. We'll look at the last 7 games of Everton. Which is getting better, so I'm not too bothered about looking at the last 7 of Everton. Then what we do is you in the comments, keep in touch with us, keep the comments going as we go through this, because we'll flow it nice and get you involved. What we do then is we look at what team we think will be played with Everton, what team we think will be played with Wolves, and then we finish with your score predictions, our score predictions, and have a cheeky look at the table and the fixtures. That's the way we're going to do it tonight, pre-match. So it should be a good listen. We'll get good feedback. So get on it, get your comments flowing, and help us with this. Let's get it on then. Let's get this going. I feel better now already. So much at stake. The joys of being an Evertonian at the minute, I tell you.
It is. Lots of people are nervous, quite rightly so. So that ain't going to change. If you're not nervous, then you don't care enough, do you? You know what I mean?
I do believe. Oh, that's the wrong one. I do believe that we can actually do it, but I'm just.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that what's at stake. You do get worried with what's at stake.
Without a doubt. And I mean, if you think about how relegation can affect sides.
Here we go.
I mean, just look at Coventry and Luton, how happy they are actually get in a playoff final. You know, it's been a long time for them.
I know there's been some crazy football. That 4-0 comeback, absolutely crazy. And then Man City probably gave one of the best first halves we've ever seen in football. Still, I find the Europa League crazy that they've done this non-Europa League thing now that Man City, I feel like Man City have already won the Champions League, but they've got to play another game and could lose it. It's crazy. Right, let's get to the business then. This is the main stuff. This is our absolute love, Everton needing to stay up. Now, I didn't realise, Paul, until I started writing this out for the channel, that Wolves are so good at home. I really didn't realise that they've won at home. I mean, I put underneath whether it's home and away just to show you, look, Wolves, they've lost when they're away. They've won when they're at home. They've lost when they're away. They've won when they're at home again. They've lost when they're away. They've won when they're at home and they've won when they're at home. So they're smashing it at home, which is a little bit of a worry there for us.
They've also they've kept 4 clean sheets in the last 4 home games.
I haven't got that stat, but that doesn't make me feel it.
Well, you know, the thing is, if they do get 5, that'll be the best that they've done. They've not done that in the Premier League before. So they've got that to sort of go at. And obviously beating Villa and Spurs. They've had some decent games. On the flip side, we've lost 1 in 6 away games. You know,
so great
result against Brighton. Scored 2 away at Leicester, 2 away at Chelsea, 2 away at Forest. You know, a decent performance against Palace, which could have gone either way. So we're decent away. We're probably as good away at the moment as they are at home. So they seem to have quite a settled side at the moment. Looking at that in a moment. But they're just sort of plodding along, not really enjoying their away days, but quite happy at home.
Yeah, we'd be wanting to play this game away with our away record, and they'd be wanting to play at home. So we wouldn't want it to be in for a good game, but it is in for a good game. And like I say, we've stepped it up away. I actually think, what do you think in the comments? I've just seen Paula say we might have new owners. We'll talk about that at the end. You reminded me. Something else we've got to get involved in the channel. There's that much with Everton. You can't sit still, can you? There's that much going on. Loads to talk about. We will have a little go on that at the end. We'll get this pretty much out of the way. Thanks for reminding us on that one.
Yeah, just like there's a few sort of weird little stats and stuff as well. Wolves, when they played Villa and when they played Palace as well, they scored goals in the first 15 minutes. Did you know that we've only conceded twice in the first 15 minutes all season?
That's it's good that we've got that going for us when they've scored that many.
They've got that, yeah, absolutely.
Everything's a clash, isn't it? It's like literally they're good at home, we're good away.
Exactly.
They're scoring
it's well matched.
That's a good stat that you pulled out there. I love these stats, the Paul stats. That is a good stat. So maybe if we can stop the early goals that have done Aston Villa and that have done Crystal Palace, if we can stop that, it will massively help us.
Yeah.
Now that's a stat I didn't expect to hear. The Blues likes that one. He loves his football.
The thing is as well that Wolves' record at home goes beyond sort of the games that you can see there, but the only one that they've lost in the last few months, they actually lost against Leeds when Leeds beat them 4-2. So, and they've lost their way against Leicester as well. So they're quite susceptible against teams who are in our area, if you like. So, you know, there's positives for us to go with and stats that we can hold on to, and all being well, we get a decent result.
Yeah, I like the positives that you put in there. Some cracking stats as well. I mean, it's good stuff. That I like it. It puts a positive thing straight in my head there, because you like you said, you look at those results, but you've just gone more in depth of why they beat Villa and why they beat Crystal Palace, and we've got a strength of not conceding early there, and I do like that strength that we've got.
Yeah, the thing about the Villa game as well is that Wolves did to Villa maybe what we did to Brighton, is that we waited for them to get into our half and then we broke out on them. And Villa had far more possession than Wolves. They had more chances as well. Just sort of looking at stats on that, 62% possession Villa had. They had 16 attempts on goal, Villa. Wolves actually only had 2 shots on target all game. Do you know what I mean? So
they're not smashing it, are they?
No, they weren't. They weren't killing these teams. Do you know what I mean? They weren't killing them at all. So it's a bit of a smash and grab against Villa. Obviously the Chelsea game as well, a little bit like that. Chelsea were in a bit of bad form as well at that point. So they're not. You know, they are susceptible to being beat, and we're certainly capable of scoring goals away from home.
Well, I've just seen, I completely agree with you. I've just seen this comment by Paul. Hi, Paul. Nice to have you on again, mate. Love you. New Twitter as well. Get on it. This is my new Twitter thing. Toffee_Bluecast. I'm back. I've just started a Twitter account, by the way, people. So if you want to get involved on it, I've only got 100 followers and I did have 7,000. So it's going to take a while to get it back. But I've had to make a new one because they're absolutely useless. But I'm just going to put on the screen after that Paul comment both teams that they played last game. So the team Everton played last game and the team that they played, because Paul's just mentioned Costa winding Mina up, and the Blue says I forgot about that one. It's definitely something that I was thinking about as well.
Yeah,
here we go.
They're weird Wolves, because I mean they actually they had far more possession against United than they did in beating Villa at home. They actually, they didn't actually though get a shot on target in the whole game against United. United had 27 attempts on goal. So it's weird. They can keep the ball, but they don't seem to do very much with it when they have it. And United, I mean, their expected goals, they were meant to score more than 2. So, Wolves seem to defend well enough, Brighton game aside, but they don't seem to do an awful lot with the ball when they actually do have it, going off those stats that we've seen.
I don't like this. I've just noticed and thought in my head, they've got that player that we was linked to in midfield for frigging ages. That what's his name again? Matthew?
Oh, Mateus Nunes.
Mateus Nunes, that's the one. We got linked to him for about 10 years. Then they've got that striker as well. We got linked with. We thought we was going to get him, didn't we, this season? And we didn't get him as well. So that's, Kakuna as well. That's two players that we got linked to for about 3 years, who I do like. He's a good midfielder, by the way. And like I say, the striker as well. I don't think Neto scares me. I really do rate Neto as a player. They've got some good players here. Let's not beat around the bush.
Do you know what I mean? Like you got there, you've got a 4-4-2. Costa's been your main guy. Jimenez, which you would have thought would be the one, sort of from outside looking in, most people would know far more than we would. But Jimenez hasn't been playing. His 13 minutes that he got against Man U was his first for a good few months. So it's been Costa who's sort of been trying to lead the line, but he hasn't been prolific by any means. And Kuna managed to get a goal when Wolves got beat against Leicester, middle to the end of April. Before that, it was a month before that he actually got a goal. And in both of those games, they lost. So they're not scoring goals from the front. If they're getting goals, it tends to be the midfielders who tend to get them. and you got
crazy
ballers
with
Neto,
those strikers.
Yeah. But I just don't know about Kuna, but Costa's just not as mobile as he obviously was, and I think people know his game in and out, don't they? They sort of know how to wind him up, and they know what he's going to be like, and they're just smart to it potentially. And like I say, if Mina's playing against Costa, what we've got to be clever at is not getting ourselves in bother away from home, because
can't be doing red cards. No,
home sides more often than not get away with one or two things that away sides don't get away with, and we've got to be smart about it.
I'm going to say, if Mina's pinching, just make sure you don't see that pinch this time. But you got Tarkowski as well. Just make sure you don't give them any reason to just win the game easy with 10 men. But I do think the only weakness of our defence, by the way, is speed. I think Mina and Tarkowski, if you put them up against big strikers, it's bread and butter. I really do think it is. And I fancy us against any slow striker that's about. And I'm not really that worried by their striking force. Other teams that we've played have got fast strikers like Vardy running past them and other strikers that have just done on for speed. But looking at Costa there, I know Kakuna might have a bit of speed, but I'm not that worried in defence. I think we can handle their strike force. It's just going to be as we always say, a battle of midfield here, isn't it? Because they have got a lot of energy with Neves. He's not the player that you think he is, but he's got something about him on the ball, hasn't he?
He's probably their best one across that line of four in the middle, to be fair. He's a bit wily as well. Do you know what I mean? He'll sort of get people booked or throw in a few tackles or go down when he's not really stuff like that. So he's probably their best of the four. And I mean, from what I've seen as well, Mateus Nunes and Neto aren't you kind of stay out wide on the line and get the crosses in. Like we've seen McNeil do on the left-hand side, where he'd stay wide and then he'd get a cross in for you. Neto and Nunes don't seem to be like that kind of player. They're ballers. They'll create chances on the edge of the area. The wide sort of pace you would get would be from the likes of Totti on the left back, Semedo on the right back. They would be the people who would tend to get the crosses in for you, to be honest, and maybe the speed on counter attacks as well. You're not going to see Costa racing 50 yards, beating anyone for pace, I wouldn't have thought.
Just reading the comments there as well, getting him involved. He's too good. Keep putting your comments on. I'll try and drop him on the screen. He's too good to get an attack to keep him for the back. I've got a question for you here now, right? And this is the big dilemma. I'm going to get straight to the points on this channel tonight. I'm going to make it interesting. I'm going to make it a cracking listen, right? Because I'm going to say exactly probably what you're thinking. Who plays in that left-back position for you, Paul? We're going to give our teams, but I'm just on about that left-back position. You in the comments get involved, because this is what we're all thinking about. This is what is the big part of the game, the big worry. Who plays in that left-back position? Because am I crazy? I tweeted this and no one responded, probably because I've got no followers. But am I crazy for thinking Townsend could play left-back?
Yes.
He's left and right-footed, and I've seen him get back and play the wing-back position. Could Townsend play? I'm just desperate, ain't I? I'm desperate for someone to play left-back.
I mean, my word, Dan. He's not fit anyway. He's not fit.
Well, Cody can't play there, can he? Because he's
Cody can't. Yeah, Cody can't play at all because he's. That's what I'm saying. Based on his thing at the moment. I've got the injury suspensions in front of me right now. So Townsend's still out with his ACL. Ben Godfrey, groin injury, unknown when to come back. Vinagre, it says injury unknown and scheduled return unknown. So God knows where he is. I've no idea. Coleman's still out with the knee. Mikolenko, it's a thigh injury. Says that he's going to be back for the Bournemouth game. So that's positive. Tom Davis out with a hamstring. Don't know when he's going to get back. So your choices seem to be Holgate or McNeil.
Is the Blues saying play Amadou left back? Is he saying play Onana left back there? Blues tell us. Are you saying play Onana left back?
Maybe it's gonna be straws. Maybe it's gonna be a lottery. Maybe there's a sort of who knows. Do you know what I mean? I mean, Holgate won't have a more difficult task than he did against City. Do you know what I mean? So
but the thing is, Paul,
he can't do any worse because he won't be up against players of City standard.
We all know though, if Holgate plays left back, Neto, who is class by the way, probably one of the best wingers on his day, is very, very good winger. We all know he's going to be going on Holgate. We've seen Haaland do it last game. Haaland just went on Holgate.
Yeah, it'd be Nunes, wouldn't it? It'd be Mateus Nunes from that side, and
they can switch, can't they?
As well. Yeah, to be fair, they can do. I think a lot of it is about how you see McNeil's role in the side and to use him most effectively. So, like Paula says there, she thinks that he should play left back. Paul's there saying that he's too good in attack to keep him that far back. But he's also our best left defender. So do you sacrifice what McNeil gives us further up the pitch to compensate our defence and bring him in at that stage at left back? Or do you have someone who would have McNeil's support and McNeil playing in front of him like we had in the City game? It's all about how you feel about McNeil's role in the team.
The good thing is, though, you can say that if McNeil played left back, we would have a left back that gets forward a lot and puts some good service in the box. But he might get caught out. The Blues has just said, yeah, he was on about Onana playing left back because he's cracking at tackling and he's got the speed and stuff. It's a hard one.
The other thing of thinking as well is that if you have McNeil left back, who's going to be in front of McNeil? And if Gray is your answer for that, then will McNeil have enough support when we're defending? Will Gray be as defensive minded as McNeil would be for a defender who's not normally a left back?
Will Townsend play instead of Gray? There's so many questions. I love it. All your comments are coming in.
Townsend's out, yeah. But the thing is as well,
played in the first team, didn't he? He's trained in the first team.
He did. I don't know whether he's. I very much doubt he's ready for first team. But what I was going to say is that everything has a bit of a knock-on. We've got knock-ons here because of Mykolenko not being here. So then we've got to think of a left back, which will then take away possibly from somewhere else in the side. But you've also got the other end. And I didn't see Dyche's press conference, so I don't know what he said about DCL. But if DCL doesn't
train Friday, he said Paul. He said
right.
He's going to train. He didn't train the main one, but he's training today. So I think he'll play him, but he's training him as late as he can just to make sure that he's recovered. So that's going to be interesting as well.
If he doesn't start, then who? Please not Mopey. Please not Mopey. Please not Paul.
You said Ben Godfrey is not available, didn't you? To that comment.
Yeah, he's still out according to the site.
Keep the comments coming cracking.
Would you play Gray? Would you play Gray up front instead of DCL? And if you do that, who then would you also have in front of whoever you play left back? So I tell you what, there's a few headaches a few heads to scratch and a few headaches to solve.
Just from one position. It can be a domino effect on all the positions. And the problem is it's took Everton so long to finally find a combination, that Brighton game, that worked perfect. But just Mykolenko being out, you end up putting McNeil there. Then you lose everything that McNeil gave left wing, which was a big part of why we was being so good. And it could be a domino effect by moving one player into one position, into another position. This is where it is so bad that they didn't bring in a good backup. left back.
Well,
I mean,
you should, as a Premier side, you should be having backup in every position, and it happened with right back earlier on in the season, didn't it? We didn't have anyone when Seamus was out. We did have someone. We had Patterson, but Patterson wasn't fancied, so we ended up playing Holgate back there a few times, I think, and Godfrey moved on to the right-hand side and things like that. So the fact that we've not got covered, you're right, does have an effect, and it can shift the whole balance of the team. I mean, I would love to have a left-footed left back. I just think that's common sense. But if you haven't got it and you're limited on your left footers to give you that balance, you've got to think what's most important in a game like this. Is it going to be to put your top goal scorer or top creator or anything else in a left back position, or put a centre back in that position, hoping that he does a decent job, and keep your player who's firing in the position that he's firing? I mean, my dad mentioned there about
I know, I was just going to say that. I did think about him, but I just don't think. I think all of his strengths wouldn't suit left back. And there's a good example there of Real Madrid playing. I can't even say his name. He plays centre mid, but he plays left back sometimes. He played left back against Man City, and there's also Casado for Brighton. He plays centre mid, but he's had to play as a left back as well. We had it with Philip Neville, didn't we? Philip Neville played centre mid, and he had to play right back sometimes. It's just what happens sometimes, isn't it?
He was a brilliant the prime utility player, if you like. I think Neville played every position apart from goal. Someone will probably tell me that he played in goal in a pre-season or something.
Yeah.
But he filled in wherever was needed. We don't really have a player like that across all areas of the pitch. Ben Godfrey's probably the one who's been utilised most across the back four, but we've not got many left-footed ones like that, really. Is Keane left or right-footed predominantly? He's got to be right, isn't he? I'm thinking of his goal against Spurs.
I was struggling not to make a joke on that, but yeah, he is. I know. I was going to say, is he any-footed? But no, I'm behind Keane because we are going to need him. Fact is, our survival's at stake here. Keane, I'm sure he plays on the right, and Tarkowski plays on the left, doesn't he?
Mm.
So yeah, I think Tarkowski's more the left.
I'm thinking about his shot against Spurs. That was his right foot, wasn't it? And I can't, what?
This is a headache. This is, I didn't expect this.
If you had a choice between Holgate left back and Keane left back,
I'd rather have Keane left back than Holgate. I really would. Yeah,
I would, without a doubt.
I would rather have Keane there because I think Keane had put a few tackles in. I think he's dopey in the middle when the ball's around him, lastminute.com. But I think if you put him out wide where he's not that dangerous and just say to him, stay with your man and tackle him, it'd be all right. The bad thing is he'd offer nothing going forward, and it'd be all on McNeil to offer something down that left-hand side.
I tell you what, though, if you've got Keane and you've got Mina and you've got Tarkowski on the pitch and we're getting set pieces, the three of them, not just 2 out of the 3, but if you've got all 3 of them in the 18-yard box when those set pieces are coming in, that's not
this is good. This is good live, because you know what I'm starting to think now. I mean, we're all going to ask you in the comments now. You're getting involved. I love your comments. Keep putting them on. Everyone, Paul Castle, everyone. I'm trying to put as many on as I can. I think we might go 3 at the back. I think we might go Keane, Mina, and Tarkowski, and go Patterson wing back and McNeil wing back.
McNeil wing back. Yeah, I've heard that.
I've just thought about it now, and the more we talk about it, I mean, we're moving Keane left back. I think what they'll do is they'll probably plop the 3 there. I mean, we played it at the end at the Man City game, and Dyche, I never thought would play that formation, but he tried it, didn't he? And maybe he tried it for a reason, knowing that he might have to use it this game, because it's just crazy to put. I mean, I don't mind Onana going left back, but they're wacky things that I like. But Sean Dyche, I can't see making a big move like that. It hasn't been made all season in a game that is literally, will we survive in the last 2 games? I don't think he'll make a big decision. That it might be too risky. He might stick to something more safe. But yeah, he might do the 3 at the back.
Well, Patterson and McNeil have got the legs to be wing backs, without a doubt. And if we are in a position where we want to be strong and we don't want to concede, a back five isn't a problem as such. So it's a distinct possibility, like you say, because with about 20 minutes to go, was it? Cody came on 25 minutes ago against City. Cody came on, and that's what we had. And I mean, the game had gone by then. Everyone had slowed down and everything, so you don't know how effective it would be. But there, and I mean, Cody won't be one of the three at the back. That's one.
It's frustrating. Cody can't play after coming on that game. It's just frustrating that he's obviously loan tied. See Paul say he want him in the back, but he's loan tied. It's just crazy.
It would be Keane, Tarks, and Mina then, because Godfrey's out, and Cody's ineligible. So they would be your three if you went three at the back.
This is cracking though, because I've just literally not spoke about this to you, and I'll put you on the spot with it. I'll put me on the spot with it. People in the comments have freaking got their heads wobbling everywhere about this position, and we still can't completely come up. I mean, there's been some cracking ideas, but you can see why it's so hard to be a manager, because it's not easy, is it? It's just one thing. No. One player injured has caused this much of a problem.
If we did go three at the back, 3-5-2, the three in the middle is key. Whatever we do, whether we play 3 or 4 at the back, middle's key, particularly against ball players in Wolves midfield. And if it was 3-5-2, then and you flooded that midfield, it could be a useful tool. To be fair, it could be a good tactic.
What do you think on that? Can we do that or not?
I don't think we can, but
ain't PSV already finished the season?
It'd be a good shout. I presume it's to the end of the season, so we might see him in the summer if we're lucky enough to keep him.
I don't think freaking Ken Wright and all that are clever enough to put in the contract, come back for the last 2 games, Brantford. But it would be fantastic if we could play Brantford. Oh, it's just so... It's frustrating that we got... Obviously, he is injured, Viagra or Vinagre, whatever his name is. But I don't think they would have played him left-back even if he wasn't injured. It's just frustrating that we're paying a lone player and we haven't even got anyone in that left-back position. We haven't got anyone to come in left-back. It's just crazy.
I think it's so telling that when it says he's on the injury list, but the injury is unknown. And
he's not injured. They didn't play him. They played him when I went to the first game of the season against Chelsea. When we played Chelsea first game, they played him then. He looked good going forward. Didn't look nothing going defence. He's a really small lad. He's like a Lennon.
Yeah.
He's too small for me left back. I know Baines was small, but Baines was solid. He was a machine. He made up for what his height with his frigging energy and strength. But it doesn't look like he's a good left back to me. And I just think people say, "Oh, we just got what we could," but you don't do that. You've got to be clever, especially when Nkunku's out and he's scored how many goals? How many has Nkunku scored?
I don't know.
6 goals. I think it's 6 goals.
Something like that. He scored a couple of screamers as well, hasn't he? So he's obviously doing well. But Vinagre's not played. You know what I mean? I don't think he's played with under 21s either. So there's a distinct lack of match fitness without a doubt. You can train, but if you're not doing it in matches, then it is slightly different, isn't it?
This is crazy. I just my head's still spinning on it. I mean, we've spoke about it for about 15 minutes now, and I still don't know the answer of the left back position. You just shouldn't be in that situation. I always said that when they didn't sign some players in the transfer window, that they've gave Dyche less tools to keep us up. And I generally do think that Dyche is playing with a dodgy hand here, because he's got to improvise. And you should, with the standard of the Premier League, also a very good team, with the standard of the Premier League, you shouldn't have to improvise. We shouldn't have to be playing a player that's not a left back, because you need all 11 players to be strong in this Premier League now. It's not easy. Yeah. You look at West Ham Europa League final, but nearly getting relegated with us this season. The standard of the Premier League is phenomenal, and you can't afford to have bad players in positions. And I just feel we should have covered that left back position. It's a bit stupid, but fact is, we'll move on from that, because we need to put someone in there because we've got 2 games to stay up.
I think it comes down to how much you value and trust Holgate.
I don't at all, and I know that's bad. I really don't.
If anyone out there, if anyone out there does, then you problem solve straight away. And if you don't, then who do you trust next? And if it's McNeil, you then take in attacking options away in a game that we need to score in at least once. So lineup's going to be interesting, aren't it?
Yeah, well, I just feel like I wanted to just cover the left back position quick, but the fact I actually don't know what to do in that position makes you all know that I'm going to struggle in my lineup now. I'm not actually struggling in my lineup. I'm just struggling in that position. I think I'd have the exact same lineup against Brighton that we played against Brighton if I could have it. I think most of us would, wouldn't we? That's the best we've ever played, 5-1. But the left back position is going to do us now. Right, well, I'll ask you your lineup now then, Paul. I'll give you my lineup. And then people in the comments, I want your lineups. What me and Paul said we're going to do, by the way, is when you put your lineups in, we're going to start putting it as a credit thing. Not this one, but the next stream. We'll put it as a credit thing at the end of streams to say what your lineups was when we come back to see whether you got it right and stuff like that, to just put what you thought in the end of the shows on the channel. So that's what we're going to do. So we want your lineups now then, please. 11 players. And we want a left back. Paul, you go first because I'm not going first. Bloody hell, I can't believe how hard this is.
It's not simple, is it? After what we've said, I think 5 is actually a decent shout. If anything, if we've got 3 in the centre and Patterson and McNeil playing wing backs, that'll make Semedo and Totti think twice about sort of going up too high. And if they do, then Patterson and McNeil are well worthy of getting into their final third and get some crosses in, or even getting a couple of shots in themselves. So yeah, I would go Pickford at back, Mina, Tarkowski, and it would be Keane. That would be your 3, with Patterson right wing back and McNeil left wing back. That would give us 3 across the middle, which I think Garner and Garner Gay have been doing a great job. So I would do Decore in front of those 2. And that would leave us then with also, let me get my maths right. 1, 2, 3,
Someone
4,
will correct you if you don't. They're very on the ball in these comments. So who you got? You got as you got 3 centre backs. Who you got as your left?
I feel like I should write this flaming thing down, to be honest.
I know we've got pressure on tonight. You can tell it's getting the end of the season. Even Paul's feeling the pressure now on this lineup. This is do or die. 2 games left to survive.
Right, so we've got. You know when Mike Bassett,
I can't believe you got Totti playing. I thought he was retired.
I know. Well, I would have been interested. I tell you what, I would like to see Roma Totti at left back in this game instead of that one.
I wouldn't like to see him up front though. He'd be a lot better than Costa.
No, you wouldn't, would you? You wouldn't.
Totti.
I feel a bit like Mike Bassett writing his 11 on the back of a fags packet. Yeah.
You are professional. I can see you with pen and paper there. Got it all out. We stats earlier on as well.
Edges on the bench. I know, yeah.
Mine's actually changed in my head as we've been talking about it.
Has it? About 5 times, like me.
Yeah, it has changed loads while I've been talking about it, and you can see why Dyche wouldn't give anything out to the press, because he literally says, "I'll pick just before the game," and I can see why he does it, because your mind does change.
Yeah, I've got this right, haven't I?
You've got 11, yeah.
Yeah, I thought I had too many, but if you think about 1, 4, 8, 9, yeah.
I love this person. I don't know if it's new on the channel. I don't want to say that again because I got it wrong last time, but Power Punch Bros, I love it. 6-0 to Everton. Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, it's an interesting shout, this, because I mean, we very rarely play with two strikers. So what are we sort of expecting? Do you know what I mean? Because you're talking 5-4-1, but with your wing backs, you're still expecting them to get forward. This midfield would be literally flooded, to be honest. So I would have, I'll start again. Pickford in goal, Mina, Tarks and Keane is your back three. Patson on the right, Neil on the left. Garner and Garner Gay as your two defensive midfielders, with Decore in front of them, along with Iwobi behind DCL, is what I would do.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's if DCL's fit. Now, I have counted it twice.
You dropped Iwobi not long ago as well. It's interesting.
I did. But the other option there is, I think Gray can make more of an impact coming on, and I think the midfield have actually been playing quite well. So Onana, I wouldn't bring in only for that fact, really. Not that he's a bad player or anything else. I think Iwobi has had success at Wolves before. I remember him scoring the last season or season before, and I think on the break he can be the little bit of pace that we have going forward, especially if McNeil or Patterson are held back a little bit by being left and right wing back. But it is crazy because that midfield sounds crazy. But it is 11 players. I've checked 3 times.
I'm going to go absolutely mad on my team now. I'm going to go. Here we go, people in the comments. Get ready. I'm going to read yours out in a minute. I mean, this has just got all our heads twisted, just this left-back position. It's got mine as well. You could just put someone in that left-back position like Holgate, but I just don't want to do it. I'm sorry. If we do, I'm behind him 110%, by the way, and I hope he has the best game of his life. But I'm just scared, and I've got reasons. But I'm going to go. The 3 centre-back scares me, but I just feel like I've got no option. I don't like that formation because you can get Penn back and not get out. And I feel this 4-5-1 gets us up the pitch so often. But I'm going to have to play the 3 centre-backs. I'm going to go for Mina in the middle, Keane on the right, and Tarkowski on the left as the 3. Same as yours, basically. I'm going to go Patterson on the right. That's his position, isn't it? Right wing back. He played good there, Man City second half. I'm going to go McNeil on the left. I think he can do the job there. He's up and down anyway. He had to basically play left back for Holgate last game. That's why I don't want him there. I'm going to go. This is the twist here. I love James Garner, nothing against him. I'm just going to put Onana in there because I want someone big. And I thought Onana was powerful when he come on against Man City. So I'm going to have Onana and Garner Gay at the side of him. Then I'm going to have Decore in front of him. And then as the 2 strikers, I'm going to have Sims and Calvert-Lewin, 2 big boys up top.
Okay.
I'm going to say Patterson and McNeil, play as wing-backs, get the balls in. You've got Sims and Calvert-Lewin and Decore and Onana getting in the box. Some big players in the box there. And that's the way I'd hit this Wolves team. That's the way I'd do it. Because I think that's attacking. I think it could win. But I still feel like it's a bit solid other than Keane with Mina, Tarkowski and Keane there as the 3, as long as the wing-backs get back. I think that would... I'd love to see us take the risk and put Sims and Calvert-Lewin up top as 2 strikers and just get some crosses in the... But I just feel that if you're going to play with the wing-backs in that formation, you've got to put something up top that benefits that formation. And with the wing-backs, we've often seen them cross the ball to McNeil. No. I think you've got to put big centre forwards on. And I think if you put Calvert-Lewin and Sims in the box and you've got crosses coming in with Decore and Onana running in as box to box, there you go. That's my formation. That's it. I think that could work in my head as well. It could be fantastic. What's your thoughts on that? Is that too risky?
It's a very, very forward thinking. I think
it's a win because we've got to win. I'm thinking. I know West Ham are going to turn up on beds, and we've got to go out and get these 3 points with Sims and Calvert-Lewin because West Ham. We don't know what's going to happen, but they ain't going to give Leeds a game. I just bloody know they're not. So we can't expect for a draw to be good enough for this. A draw might still get away with because we could win the next, but let's just go out and try and win this bloody game and get this bloody thing.
We've got to go for a win, but we've got to go at it
with a head switch on.
We can't go like, all guns blazing and not expect Wolves to still put on a performance. You know, I think it's a good idea if we have plenty of bodies in the midfield, because they tend to work the ball. They don't tend to be a long ball side. They work the ball from the wings, then come in and create chances that way. And then they either get their shots from the edge of the box, which Neves does quite a lot, or they then feed the ball to the overlapping wing backs, who then get crosses in. Now, if we've got Patterson and McNeil doing their job defensively, that cuts out that. And if you've got that many bodies in the middle, like James Garner, like Garner Gay, Doucouré, and even the Iwobi in that middle part of the pitch, then there's enough bodies in there to stop those long shots, to be honest. And enough bodies as well when we get the ball to break out. Like Patterson's decent, pacey. McNeil, obviously. Iwobi's pacey. Sometimes can't. Cow's ass with a banjo, but you know, he's pacey enough to get us up the pitch. Doucouré's in form as well. All 4 goals, or his last 4 goals, have been all away as well. A lot of it will come from whether certain players are fit up front. If we go with 3-5-2, you know, if it's 4-4-2, then if it's 4-4-5-1 or whatever, it doesn't matter about the left back spot if you are happy with Holgate or McNeil being back there, or Keane, or Onana, or anyone else you can.
It's just going to be so. I think we're all going to be waiting for the lineup tomorrow, literally at the 0:00 when it comes out, an hour before, thinking, what is this lineup going to be? Because it's an interesting one. I don't think it's predictable. Let's just say that. Now, there's some here. Paul, do you want to hit this one? This is Paul Caswell's.
Yeah, go on. Where are we? I mean, the thing is as well, with these, let's see. So Paul will have done this. So Mina, Tarks and Keane is the 3. Patterson on the right, McNeil on the left, Doucouré, Garner Gay, Garner in the middle, Gray behind DCL or Sims. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. I think we've got the same there, apart from maybe Gray and Iwobi. I mean, the clean sheet is huge as well. I think Iwobi would put more in defensively, just through sheer running, to be honest. That's why I keep Gray on the bench, so that if it's not going well for us, that's when Gray can come on, and then we've got someone up alongside whoever our striker is. Please don't play Mopey. Please don't play Mopey.
I was going to put him in, but I put Sims up top, and then that straight away makes me look crazy because we've gone 2 big strikers. But I'd rather Sims play up top than Mopey. The Blues, I'm interested on his team because he's got the football knowledge, and Pickford, Pato, Minataki, Onana. I was expecting that. I would have been disappointed if you didn't put him there after you say it, coming up with that suggestion. Onana, Garner, Gay, Iwobi, Dukes. Yeah, if you can put Onana there and he does the job, it's an interesting one. See what Dyche is. See if he's got the balls to take a big risk in this position.
There's plenty of players who've done that in terms of left back and right back. You know, remember Fabian Delph? You know, I tell you what,
Lord has said the same as Paul Caswell that you've just said. Saying
a lot of people sort of had a go at Delph for not being great, but there were some games where people were absolutely lauding him. And a couple of those games were left back as well as the centre of the pitch. So sometimes midfielders can stand in and do the job. Supposed
to be Gareth Barry, wasn't he? Gareth Barry was a good one as well. He could play right back, left back, anywhere. Same with Milner. He could play frigging midfield, right back, different positions. Don't want to talk about him though, because midfield sit. But there you go. Just another example. Yeah. It can happen. Paula Hill has gone for Pickford, McNeil, Patterson, Keane, James, Mina, Onana, Garner, Gray. They're good teams, ain't they? You can't knock any of them, can you? Really?
I love the. Where are we? So McNeil left back. Are we saying Patterson right back? All right, James. Oh, that'd be Tarks. So that's 5. Oh yeah, 5, and then Onana, Garner, Gray and Iwobi is a 4 across the middle. Calvert-Lewin up front. God, I hope Calvert-Lewin's fit. It just makes things so much more positive, so much easier. even if he's 70%, I'd still play him above anyone else that we've got.
I love it though, because you're a bit more lenient on Holgate than me, and I'm a bit more lenient on Mopé than you. Mopé gets your buttons, and Holgate he pushes your buttons, and Holgate pushes mine. Yeah. So it's an interesting one. We've all got different football views. I'm not saying Mopé's good, by the way. I'm just saying a Holgate just get me.
Whoever comes in and does the job, we'll back them. Do you know what I mean? We'll give them all our support. We'll cheer them on all the way, because they're the ones who are actually on the pitch trying to keep us up. So.
Have we missed any there? Jamie said 4-5-1, same as the way I played it opening 37 minutes against City. Just going through your comments now, trying to get them all on the screen. Keep them coming. This is fantastic, by the way. We come on the streams and they just do themselves now. Me and Paul come on, be ourselves, and you with the comments are fantastic. You give us so much stuff to read, and
if
we love hearing your thoughts. It's cracking.
If you missed anything, put it on again. Okay, just type it in again. If you think you've missed it, just type it in again.
Type it all up again. Sorry about that, but type it all up again. Get those typing fingers going. This has been a lot of talk about left back, and I hate to talk about one thing, but it is the big subject that we'll all be thinking about.
Because we used to play it, Dan. Because we both used to play
if Sean Dyche makes a call, like, Dan, you want to play left back? I'll be there, mate. Straight away, I'll be like, impression is so bad, I know. But I've seen some
he was in the room. Like he was here.
Dan, play left back. Get here now. $5 a week. I'll play for nothing. Don't worry. I would play left back, and I'd do the job there, left back. I'd show Holgate how it's done, and he gets paid absolutely frigging loads, and I'd play for nothing. I would actually say, I'm not even joking. I'm not minted, but I would say I'll play for nothing. Don't give me nothing.
I'd pay them.
I'd say, I'd pay them as well, actually. I'd say, right, I'll give you 100 grand for me to play. See, there's a difference. We would do anything just to play for that shirt and keep Everton up, and they get the chance. It's about embracing it. Not about getting scared. Not about freaking bottling it. They have the chance. Look at last season when we stayed up. Look how much we played back that Crystal Palace moment when we stayed up. We remember it. We shouldn't remember staying up because it's not good enough. We used to be an Everton that won trophies and was frigging feared and absolutely incredible. Players like Ball, players like frigging... I don't even want to talk about those players, Sheedy and all that lot. We used to have those players, and now look at us. It's just, you'll talk about them because you know about them bloody more than me. Yeah. The players like we used to have, though, proper legends, and we just haven't got that now. But I did say earlier on, and as a positive, I will say, we've gone through the teams now. We've read your teams out. I did say earlier on, you've got to stay in the game. Don't put your heads down. You've got to stay in the game. Some people don't see next season, we'll be back in the same situation again. Right. Basically, there's going to be new owners. We just said we'd talk about this. There's going to be a new owners. They're battling for it now. Apparently, no one wanted it. But now it's coming out that 007, 777, want us, 777. I hope they've got 007 about them, sniper. Get us up that league. Who's the other one? MVP or something like that, the wrestler?
I heard about it. I heard about the
MVP.
The thing for me, I don't. I listen to it and I take it in. However, I don't think I'm not believing anything until it actually happens, and I don't think any major clever business people are going to do anything before they know, what happens in terms of our league position either. So maybe they're just getting the wheels greased or whatever, because it can take a while. So maybe that's the case. But until anything actually happens, then it's all, it's all up in the air, isn't it? It's just speculation at the moment.
I don't think Mashiri wants to put no more money in. I think Mashiri wants his money back. I think he's willing to sell up, but I don't think nobody is going to pay that sort of money for Everton until they find out where we are. We could be in the Championship, we could be in the Premier League, and it's all on these two games, and nothing's going to happen until after these two games. Exactly. And I think once people find out where we are, it's a completely different ball game. Everton is a different picture. It's a different investment. If we stay up, it's a cracking investment because a lot of people might see it as a big opportunity. We've got a new stadium. We've got a bunch of cracking players. Some players are worth a lot of money, by the way, if we stay up. If we go down, Pickford's worth not much, Onana's worth not much, and a few other players that we can sell isn't worth much. If we stay up, you're talking probably about 80 million for Onana. I know that's crazy, but it is what they offer nowadays. And you're talking freaking Branthwaite. We're already getting 30 million offers for Branthwaite. Pickford will probably got big offers for him if he stays up. Now, I'm not saying I want to sell any of these players, but I'm saying you've got something that's worth something. We've got value. We can decide whether we want to sell them and invest to make us better, or we can decide whether we want to freaking keep them and build around them. But that's what I'm saying. Stay in the game, because there is opportunities if we do. I'm telling you, there's a good handful of players at this Everton team under Dyche that'll be better than what we are this season. And I just think there's loads of opportunity, but we've got to make sure we stay up, because it just makes so much difference. If we don't, we've got to do it and get them over this line on these 2 games.
Dead right. You know, there's a decent core of players down the middle of the pitch, if you like. You know, I know Tax has his wobbles sometimes, but generally he's a very strong defender. Pickford in goal. Onana is just going to get better. I think Decore will just get better as well. James Garner in the middle. DCL, if we can keep the lad fit. And then you've got potentially some young lads that we can bring in. You know, I don't know what Tom Cannon's like. He's obviously done well in Championship, but there's lads that we can bring up from the Championship who are good strikers. It's what we used to do. We used to bring lads up from Championship sides, and then suddenly they were staying with us for years, and then they were going off to Man City, Chelsea, whoever. So, you know, we're very capable of building a good side when we get rid of some people around the club, whether that be up top or around the squad, and then we can start building slowly and stop being scared from, you know, August to May.
Sometimes I feel sometimes you're not far away from the click that makes you a good enough team. And I look at that West Ham team this season. They've been awful, but they still nearly managed to win the Europa League. I look at Newcastle. They had Ashley that was going down. There was at the bottom. They got new owners, which we're in talks to get new owners. They got new owners. Newcastle didn't go and buy loads of cracking players, by the way. They couldn't get players at the start. They couldn't get the big names because no one knew whether Newcastle was going to be the project that they said there was going to be. So, but they went and got solid players. They got Trippier there in a good position. They got frigging a striker that would just to do the job and get them up slowly and then build. And I just feel that we're only a click of players from being a decent team. I really do. And I think if you get a good left back, I feel we're solid in the centre. I feel we've got some good centre backs. Maybe Branthwaite coming back. I'd love a backup for if Coleman's going to go. I'd love another right back, and I think a striker that's going to make Calvert-Lewin struggle to get in the team really could click this Everton team. I'm only talking 3 or 4 players.
It's happened in the past. You know, a couple of eras, whether it be the Moyes era or even Kendall. When Kendall was a couple of ways from the sack in about 83, 84. And a couple of people that he brought in clicked a little bit better. You know, players like Sheedy and Southall were already at the club. Bringing in players in like Reed, Andy Gray, it only a couple of players just kind of clicked it really. And then obviously went strength to strength. It's the same with Moyes. Moyes' first squad of players were obviously lacking. But then in his first few seasons, he changes a couple of players, brings in players like Cahill, Lescott, you know, sort of after the 2004-05 season, and sort of rotated the squad. So it didn't work straight away. And
Carsley from Derby was a good one, wasn't he?
Who, sorry?
Lee Carsley from Derby was a cracking side in that number 6 position.
That's what I mean. It's
Derby
County. Those kinds of players. I mean, like Kevin Kilban. I'm not saying he was world class or anything, but he put a shift in. He reminds me a lot of McNeil, to be honest. Not world class in any way, but puts in a shift, creates 1 or 2 things, and people liked him just because, you know, he sort of he as I say, got the club, but he tried his heart out, very much like McNeil does. You don't need to have worldies in every position. You need a team. And so if we can stay up in this league, which I know we will, then we can do that with
Thank you.
better backing behind us.
Best of luck. Cheers for coming on, Stephanie. Best of luck. We need it. We do need it. I feel like we're going to have what it takes to stay up, but you also need that bit of luck as well. Thanks for thinking about us. It's nice to get other fans on as well that are being nice to us, because we see some that are being negative. But yeah, that's nice. Nice comment. I really do hope we can do this. I've just put the fixtures on now and I've got the league table. We'll finish in about 10 minutes. We'll hit the hour and 10. I wanted to start early here and get a good stream for you people. If you've got any comments now, just feel free, let them out. We've done the structure, gone through the fixtures of both teams, gone through the lineups. We've given our teams. We're going to give score prediction at the end, and I'll give you the table. But this is just on the screen now from last time. This is what it is to stay up.
Yeah,
I think Newcastle will smash Leicester. I think we've gone a couple of games. We've gone a game after this now, and I think Newcastle are back on it now. They look cracking last game. I think they'll smash Leicester. What West Ham are going to do against Leicester, I don't know. I feel like every game, West Ham might give a team 3 points. I hope they don't. Forest, Arsenal will turn up that. I think they'll still be frustrated that they've given the league away, and Arteta will be fuming and want to make a point that they are the real deal. Crystal Palace could drop them there, couldn't they? I'm scared of that one. I'm scared of the Crystal Palace one, actually. I just look at all them now, and I think that Leeds will pick up 3 points from West Ham and lose against Tottenham. I think Forest will lose against Arsenal, but they'll pick up 3 points against Palace. And I think Newcastle will beat Leicester, but West Ham will let Leicester win. So I think all 3 of those teams in the battle with us will get 3 points. But I do think that we can go and get 6 points in these 2 games. I really do. It's still in our hands because we're in a league position that's not in the bottom yet. We're at the bottom. They're in the bottom. And I think if we can turn up against this Wolves team and get the 3 points, the pressure's on them, not us. I really do.
Yeah.
That's my little speech on that.
That's good. I liked it.
No, because I did say to you back in the day when we first went through this, you live and learn, don't you? And I did say to you that West Ham won't get no more points that Leeds won't get no more points all season, neither would Forest and neither would Leicester. But now I've got my head screwed on and I know what they're going to get and I know what Everton need. And I think even if Everton drew against Wolves, by the way, because I've just said to you, Leeds are getting 3 points, Forest are getting 3 and Leicester are getting 3 and they're all below us. So if we manage to get a draw against Wolves and get the 3 against Bournemouth, even though they've all got 3, we still stay up.
Yeah, we've got to do as well as Leeds and Leicester.
So we don't need to win. Some people say that Wolves game is a must win, but it isn't, is it? I think you could get away with a draw. I don't want to draw. I want to win. But I think this is what you say, Paul. We're not in a really, really bad situation. For the last 2 games now, the table, which I'll put up now, is actually quite nice because we're at the bottom. We could be in the bottom needing something. Now we just need to stay where we are. And I just generally think that I'm happy with what we've got there. People don't panic because it is in our hands.
I mean, out of those fixtures there, would you want to be playing Spurs? No. Would you want to be playing Newcastle? No chance. Would you want to be playing Arsenal? Even. Do you know what I mean? I think we've maybe got the there's no easy fixtures, so I'm not going to say easy fixtures, but I've got out of those fixtures that everyone has, I would say that we've got fixtures that we would prefer against the other side. We've also, like I say, in a position where we've just got to do as well as they do. And I think all of the teams, including us, are more than capable of getting 4 points, to be honest with you. It wouldn't surprise me if Forest beat Arsenal. Arsenal theirs might well have gone because of City doing what they're doing, and Arsenal having getting spanked by Brighton. I mean, Brighton are like that, aren't they? So it wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal lost against Forest and Forest got a draw at Palace. It wouldn't surprise me if Leeds managed to get a draw or something at West Ham. I don't think West Ham will roll over. I don't think they'll all still be pissed on celebratory champagne and stuff. But I think Leeds are capable of springing a surprise against Spurs.
Good night, John.
Or West Ham and get 4. And Leicester, I don't think Leicester will get anything at Newcastle, but I do think they'll beat West Ham. Just a last day sort of thing. But I do think that we can potentially get 2 wins. I certainly think we're capable of getting 4 points, without a doubt. So if we do that, it's as much as they do. The thing is, though, that unless we get lucky and other sides don't get any points and we do win, we are safe. But more than likely, it's going to the last day.
I already put that on the screen. I'm just trying to get the league table for you now. Yeah, it might go to the last day. Oh, the stress of being an Evertonian. I'm kind of stressed, but I'm ready. I feel like I really am ready, and I hope you lot are in the comments. It's going to be a roller coaster, but we knew that. I mean, a lot of Blues said we was down already.
Oh, I mean, if you think
to be in this situation, it isn't that bad compared to what you thought we was going to be.
No, if you think back to, I mean, just looking at previous results we had, when we
here we go.
When we got hammered away at Arsenal, I mean, it was Arsenal were playing out the skins, but there was so much doom and gloom at that point as well, because we had lost 4-0 away. It was only 2 weeks before that we beat Leeds, and everyone was sort of hoping that we were going to get out of it. But, it was when we played United as well and lost 2-0 away. Like the doom and gloom after that. There was some really scathing comments about the side and we're down, but it was Man U away, which isn't our best either. The Newcastle one was probably the lowest point, wasn't it?
People in the comments
really believe in it,
Yeah, I love what you're saying. I completely agree with you. The Arsenal game, everyone was Dyche said when he come and took the job. It was probably they already had Everton. Well, they did already have Everton down. I believe they did. And I think Dyche was a risk. Like, can you keep them up? Like a big Sam sort of thing. Can you keep them up what you got? And he's gone and shown them he's got something about him to help in this situation. Here's a question for you in the comments. Question, Paul. Would you have took this situation at that Arsenal game when Dyche come in? I mean, I would have snapped your hands off for this. I would have, personally, to be 2 games left playing Wolves and Bournemouth, and to be 17th, not in the bottom. I would have snapped your hands off for this position. What would you have, Paul?
Yeah, of course. Because I think it was about 6 weeks ago we went in the bottom 3. Was it for the first time? We've certainly not for the first time, but it looked as though it looked really bad, because then we were starting to get a couple of points adrift, weren't we? Some sides have got dragged into it. Forest have got dragged into it in the last sort of 6-7 weeks. But to be at this point where we're out of the bottom 3 and a point above Leeds, 2 points above Leicester, yeah, of course you would, without a doubt. With a away game against Wolves and a home game against Bournemouth as well.
Look at this, Paul. Yeah. You seen it underneath? Trust it to be after Jamie's comment as well. Jamie grilled me for it last time. I just remembered the banner along the bottom. I've just put it up. Oh my days. We're coming 2 minutes left on the stream, and I've just put the banner on now saying like and subscribe and what structure we're going to do the channel.
They know what we're doing.
Dan will be Dan. Dan will be Dan. I've just written that out for you as well. Never mind. Jamie says the draws we have picked. This is cracking by Jamie, by the way. I put this up because it's a clever comment by Jamie. He says the draws that we picked up that a lot of people moaned about are now very, very important, and it's true. Without those draws,
massive. Chelsea away 2-2, Forest away 2-2, Leicester away 2-2. In games that on other days we would have lost, and actually they're 3 points that have got us above Leeds and Leicester.
Well, you say it all adds up in the end, and it can help you at the end of the season. This is a perfect example.
Yeah. And the goal difference. I mean, the goal difference as well. I mean, if you're looking at it, if you're looking at it there, where are we at the moment? We're minus 24. Leeds minus 25. Leicester have got a better goal difference, but it's not ideal. They're currently minus 18. Forest are minus 31, is it? So goal difference can play a major part as well, to be honest.
And we've sorted that out now, haven't we? I think we've got in a better situation on that over the last couple of games. I think I really do like us here. I do. I'm scared. I'm not going to lie. I'm scared because I know the situation. I mean, even though I do believe we've got what it takes, and I'm ready, and I'm ready for the battle, and I believe we can do it, I do know that if something goes wrong, you could end up down, and I just don't want that for Everton, because I just love. How long's it been since we've been down?
1953, I think it was.
1953. We just can't do it, can we? We can't be frigging
something like that. Early 50s, anyway.
Yeah, you're the stat king. You are questionnaire king, Paul. Yeah, we can't be doing it. We've got to stay up, and I do believe we'll stay up. And like we say, there's loads of positives. 2 games, massive. Stick together. Have a great night. Yeah, there was just coming to an end now, everyone. This has been a good one, to be fair. I've really enjoyed it. I felt really relaxed on this as well. I was stressed before I come on, but as always, this channel, this is what I say, just get on the Bluecast. And it's very unlikely that if you stick with us through the channel, that you'll come out feeling bad. I feel all right. I feel ready.
Should do. It could be a cracking few days for us.
Score predictions.
Oh, we didn't. Yeah.
Score predictions, right, everybody. I've just seen Young Trash Lord. He's had a little dig at me there, hasn't he? Without even meaning to. We shall win 3-1, I believe. Right? Score predictions. Everyone that's still on, a few have gone off now because it's been a late one, but everyone that's still on, and get back on now. I've just seen one come back on. Get back on. You didn't give me a score prediction. I want score predictions now. So give me a score. I'm going to ask Paul. I'm going to give him mine. And then I'm going to read yours out in the comments. I will. So the Blues was waiting. He could have told me. There you go. He's dropped his straight away. A few was waiting for that. Score predictions, Paul. Go on. Go for it. You first. Again.
We're gonna win 1-0.
1-0. Who's going to score?
Yeah. Tarks.
Tarkaska. I like it. I like it. Right. My score prediction is going to be, thinking of it on the spot. I love to get it on the spot. 2-0 Everton.
2-0. Right.
Because I've just thought of it in my head. I played it. We've gone 2-0 up first half. And we just completely freaking defended it out second half. And we put a couple of defensive players on Onana and stuff, however we want to do it. And we've just seen it out. So 2-0 I'm going to go for. 2 goals first half. Good first half, see it out second. And I'd love that. I'd be stressed still. I'm never comfortable unless it's, well, I wasn't comfortable when it's 5-1. So 2-0. My goal scorers is going to be, I've got Onana starting, so I'm going to have Onana and McNeil. I want to give Calvert-Lewin a goal as well. So if he wants to take one off them, then feel free, Calvert-Lewin. Paul, do you want to drop their scores on the what scores have you got in the comments?
A cracking start. 4-0, 3-0 in 20 minutes. I'd love that again. God, that would be so nice, wouldn't it?
Paul Caswell, very positive.
DCL and Garner to score. That'd be good. I'd see James Garner getting a goal would be lovely. Same as Onana. You know, someone who's not got a goal yet or not scored for ages, that'd be fantastic to get on the score sheet.
Holgate will score if he plays left back. It's just written for Everton that 1-0 Holgate plays left back and scores. Bloody hell.
Jamie's gone 1-0 as well. Jamie's gone 1-0 DCL. Jonesy's in.
Jonesy.
2-1. 2-1, I like that. That's good. And 3-1. For Young. McNeil brace. I tell you what, they'll end up getting player of the season alongside Pickford, I think, if he does.
I could see it though. Do you know what? Do you know when your confidence is high? I could see him if he gets one. He's that sort of person, isn't he? If he starts with an early goal, he's a confidence player. He can bang another one in. I love McNeil. It's good comment from Mr. Jones as well. Said he's at work. Great stream. I love this that people could listen to us at work. It's like a podcast.
Yeah, that's nice. Good lad. Good lad. I'm really looking forward to it, to be honest. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good. And then, it'll be Sunday night. By Sunday night, we'll know a couple of others, I think. Because fixtures-wise, Forest play in the game, Saturday night game after us having played at 3 o'clock. So Arsenal can see them off. And then on the Sunday, West Ham Leeds is 1:30 on Sunday. And where are they? Leicester, I think, Monday night away against Newcastle. So it could be good drinks on Monday night.
Oh, get on the stream. We'll be celebrating. I hope so. I really do. I was just thinking that. When are we going to do the straight? Once it's confirmed, Everton are staying up, then we're all getting on this channel. It's got to be done. We just need to get it done. Thanks, everybody, for coming on. Cracking comments, as always. I love this Bluecast get-together. Good pre-match talk this has been. Very professional, and some good comments as well on that left-back position. Stick together, by the way. Everything you're feeling, we're feeling, everyone's feeling. The Bluecast are all feeling it. It's scary, but we'll do it. Our emotions are all together. We're toughies. We stick together, and we'll do it. I really do believe that we're going to be saying we've stayed up again, and I believe it. And Paul, he's cracking, to be fair. He always gets me positive. Any last words, Paul, before we go?
No,
before tomorrow, the big game?
Great weekend, and we'll see you all Sunday and maybe even Monday. And yeah, it's our time to get this sorted, get the win, see everyone else, away from us, and then how much we can relax against Bournemouth. That'd be lovely.
Perfect. I'm just going to get the... I'll just sing you a song to end it because I haven't got the banner made yet. No worries about a thing.